All right, hello everyone. So let us try to solve this question on finding the area between two curves. The curves are exponential functions e raised to power x and minus e raised to power x, and the interval, the two bounds, the lower bound is -1 and the upper bound is 1. E raised to power x is an exponential function which keeps on increasing forever, and negative e raised to power x flips this function or mirrors this function across the x-axis. So you can see this blue curve is exactly a mirror of this curve across x-axis. And your bounds are x is equal to -1 and x is equal to 1, which means you have to find this area lying between these two bounds. Okay, lying here and here, and the inner area. So the rule says if you have to find the area between two bounds A and B, then you subtract the lower curve out of the upper curve. So this would be upper curve minus lower curve. Okay. So now the thing is you have to determine which is the upper and which is the lower curve. I mean, if you don't know how to draw the graphs, then it could be a challenge for you. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, if you are going to sit in the IB exams, you must know which kind of graph e raised to power x and minus e raised to power x have. I would say it's a good idea to, memorize the graphs of standard graphs like some trigonometry functions, exponential functions, logarithm functions, and that kind of stuff. But if somehow you're not able to come up with the graphs immediately, then you can take any value between the given limits. Just take like here -1 to 1. The easiest number I can think of is x is equal to 0 and plug it in here. This gives you e raised to power 0 is equal to 1, and this one give you minus e raised to power 0 is -1. And now think of the higher number, which is 1. That means between these two limits, at this point, this curve will be lying above the other curve. So that gives you a pretty good idea about which curve is going to be the above and which curve is going to be the below. But here, upper and lower curves are e raised to power x minus, and the lower curves is minus e raised to power x respectively dx, and you're going to be integrating it between -1 to 1. Let us try to simplify it. So e raised to power x, you have two negatives together. Two negatives makes it positive, so plus e raised to power x dx. Now because these are two like terms, exactly same, that means you can add them together. When you add it, what would you get? You will get 2 e raised to power x dx. Okay. Now all you have to do is to integrate this function between these two limits. If you want to pull out this number 2, you can do that also, because a constant can always be pulled out of the integral sign. So this 2 moves out and you have to integrate e raised to power x between -1 and 1. Now here I have mentioned the rule for integrating any function e raised to power x dx. If you have any number beside x, any constant beside x, that constant moves down after integrating this function. So let's say if you have just an example, doesn't belong to this question, but if you have like e raised to power -x, what would be its integral? Its integral would be e raised to power minus x divided by, what do you see beside x? A negative. You can't leave the negative as it is, so just put a 1 here. So that would be minus e raised to power minus x, and you can add a constant too. But here, luckily, we do not have any number beside x, so you can say that you have a 1 there. Okay, as per that rule. So the integral of e raised to power x would be e raised to power x divided by 1, and we do not usually write that 1 because that doesn't make any difference to the expression. So all right, we have taken the integral now. Now we have to plug in the limits into this function. We plug in the upper limit first. The upper limit is 1 Plugging in the upper limit means we are going to replace this x with the upper limit. So e raised to power 1, and then you use a negative sign, and then you plug in the lower limit, which is -1. Okay, so simplifying this, you get e raised to power 1 as is, and minus 1 over e. You can leave this answer as it is, or if you want to simplify it better by making the denominators same, what we can do is, sometimes if you want to simplify it further, then what you can do is you can multiply this e in the top and bottom with another e, because you want to have another e in the bottom, right? So I will multiply and divide with e at the same time. To keep the equation or keep the expression in the balance, you have to divide also. Okay, so that would be 2 e square over e minus 1 over e. Having the same denominator allows you to subtract them like this. So this would be your area between the two curves. This could be your answer, or you can write your final answer in this format as well. Any of those two will be accepted unless they want you to have a decimal expression or a number. Then you can plug it in the calculator and get a decimal expression or the numbers form also. But this is the standard good answer for the IB exam specifically. Thank you.